Hey YouTube, welcome back to my channel. This is Canadian Retro. I've got another pickups video for you here. First thing I really wanted to show you here is not necessarily a pickup, but it's the, I think, final reward basically for the Extra Life Challenge, which, if you've been following my channel or know, is basically that 25-hour live stream where a bunch of other fellow YouTubers and friends of mine came over and we were live streaming for 25 hours to raise money for Sick Kids Hospitals, and the hospital that I was raising funds for was Sick Kids in Toronto. So that's was probably one of the crowning achievements, I think, for myself of the last year. I've never really done a lot of live streaming before. That was really my first foray into that kind of thing, and so that's sort of a milestone for me in that regard, and to be able to give back to the community through this passion for video games that, you know, we all share is something that's really important to me. And I've also mentioned it before, just for Canadian Zangief and the effect that that's had on his family. Again, that was just something I felt I really had to step up and do, and so overall it was just an amazing experience. And this is sort of the last item to come in for that. So it comes with a little card that says, "Congrats for unlocking your Extra Life Hero Medal," and has a little card. Unfortunately, I got a little damaged, I think, in the mail, because there's a little puncture mark, and it was just kind of a bummer and got a little bent out of shape, but maybe I'll be able to flatten that out, because that's a nice little card to hold on to just to commemorate the event. But what it is here is a medal, basically like you can wear around your neck kind of idea. I'll just put it on display, obviously, and it just has like the Extra Life logo in there. I don't know if you'll be able to see that clearly. I should probably take it out of the bag actually, so you can see a little bit better. But yeah, so there you go. So that's gonna go on display proudly in you know, my video game museum, or whatever you like to call it, the retro dungeon here, just because it really means a lot to me, and really happy to, you know, meet that achievement. And this year I've already started up again with my Extra Life stream. That's going to be happening again, I believe it's on November the 4th. I'm just going from memory here of this year, and that's also going to be the same day that the clocks go back again, so it'll be another 25-hour live stream. But I'll be doing that again because I had such a positive experience this time around. And if you're sort of like one of those you know, fellow YouTubers, people that were invited over before, or someone local to me that wants to join in on the fun that day, and I know you well enough kind of thing, you know, I'm going to be inviting people over again for that, because again, that was just an amazing experience for me. Coming up here at this point of it, there are some freebies that someone gave me, and I'm not really particularly interested in a lot of like the artwork and stuff that goes in these cases, just a bunch of empty cases, but it comes from a fellow collector I see when I'm out thrifting, and you know, he and I are basically in competition with each other. We're always trying to get places before the other person, obviously, to get the finds, but when we meet up, we do talk, and you know, it's kind of that kind of scenario. It's not, you know, a negative one where you're in competition with people that are just out there for games only. So he said he had a bunch of DS cases that he picked up as sort of like a lot the other day, and pulled out the ones that he wanted for his collection to fill in or whatever, and these are the ones that he had left over, and he said I could have them. So I was happy to take them, because I'm really thinking of doing that GBA slot type of thing with these. So, you know, where you print off the cover and you put your GBA games in there instead of a DS game. But yeah, so there's like a bunch of different cases, like a Lego Harry Potter one, Kung Fu Panda one, Spider-Man Web of Shadows one, Ben 10 Alien Force one, and Nintendogs one, and then one which I'm actually going to keep because I had a loose copy of this game, and it's Indiana Jones The Original Adventures, Lego Indiana Jones, that is. So I actually already put my cartridge in there, no manual, but you know, still good nonetheless to be able to case that one and remarry an empty case with a game. So that one actually goes in my collection because I really like those Lego games. They're pretty fun times. So the next thing I got here was a interesting kind of scenario. Someone had posted for $5 these 3 bags of like different cords and wires and all this kind of stuff. And in the corner of one of them, I saw what looked like this. So in one of the bags I saw something that looked like this, and all I could see was this part of it. Basically I'm trying to cover it up the way that I saw it, but I started to recognize that immediately as something Battletoads related, and so it was Battletoads in Ragnarok's world. So that's the Game Boy manual for that. I saw it in there. I didn't really know exactly like what Battletoads related thing it was. I was really taking a chance on it, but for $5 that was pretty good. And then as I was digging through the bag, there was also a manual for Mighty Morphin Power Rangers for Game Boy, and then also DuckTales 2 for Game Boy. So I ended up getting those 3 manuals out of it. I also got a bunch of different stuff. I'm not really going to go through all of this. It's kind of crazy to go through all of it, but there's a few white DVD cases that I can always put Wii games in there in really good shape, so that's kind of nice. And there's actually digital codes for Game of Thrones, so if somebody's interested in this, let me know. There's some digital codes here for different seasons of it. It's like 5th season, whatever. They're all digital codes anyways. And then Windows XP, and then a whole bunch of like different manuals and things to fill boxes for video game stuff. There's like PS2 and Wii things here, so that was pretty cool right there. There's also like a bag of wires. I separated all the wires the other night and kind of getting rid of the ones I don't want. I'm gonna donate them to probably one of the stores or whatever, but I kept a bag, probably about like 3/4 of a bag of just AV cords and this kind of stuff from that. So really good deal, I thought, for $5, especially with the manuals, because that's what I was really after. I only saw the one and took a chance on it, and glad I did, because I ended up with some pretty decent stuff there. The next thing I wanted to show you here is a stop-in that I did at a Value Village, and they had a few games out, which made me pretty happy. And luckily for me, the prices were pretty decent. So all of these were $3.99 each, and the first one here is Metal Gear Solid 3, and this one is, let's see here, has like the game and the bonus disc, so really nice. And everything here is like in mint shape. I'm not going to pull up the discs just for sake of time, but pretty cool right there. I already have this in my collection, although I don't know how complete it is. Now all of these games have a little bit, they're like in really nice shape, except for they must have been sitting out in the sun, just a little bit of fading here on the side of each one of these ones, but still very cool. Ninja Gaiden Black, really cool right there. Again, $3.99 for that one, and it's totally complete. Like I said, I'm not going to show you disc conditions this time around, just because there's a few different disc-based games to go through. So pretty cool though, and I do believe I have this already as well, but the disc in this one's probably going to replace the one I have, because again, it's really mint. Couple of games you can never turn down, and that's Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic, and that one's again is complete, and also Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic 2. So I got both of those, you know, for $4 each. Really sweet right there. And then one that I was looking to add into my collection is Capcom versus SNK 2 EO. So really cool right there. Totally mint and everything like that. And this one here looks really awesome. I'm looking forward to checking this one. I'm not a total fighters kind of guy when it comes to games, but I did want to get my hands on these ones, so pretty pumped about that. And then also Street Fighter Anniversary Collection, which includes Third Strike, Street Fighter Third Strike, which is on the Dreamcast, but you know, pretty cool to get it for this as well. And again, that one's complete, and I think that one is going in my collection. I'm fairly certain. I'm trying to remember now, but still, for $4, it's definitely worth it. And then moving along, this is sort of some of the last stuff that I found on the week, or a couple weeks. First one here, let's see, is oh yeah, Metroid Prime. Got this one on the GameCube. It's the greatest hits version, or whatever you like to call it, the player's choice version. Unfortunately, it's missing its manual. It's just the disc. It's in a little bit of rough shape, not totally horrible or anything. I'll clean it up and recase it and make it look pretty nice, and that one's $5, so figured why not get Metroid Prime for $5. I was checking out like prices and stuff on that one. Seems like the price has gone down recently. It's like around $10 to $15 game, so kind of interesting. I thought it was a little more than that, but whatever. I hadn't really found much in a while at that particular store. I think it had been about 4 or 5, maybe 6 days or a week before I had found anything there, so it's kind of happy to be able to find at least something. And then this was A couple weeks ago I found these two. First one here I probably could have left behind, and that's Universal Studios theme parks, but I saw like E.T. on the front, and you know, like the Jurassic Park T-Rex and Back to the Future and all that kind of stuff on the front of it, and I was like, so cool. And then I kind of checked it out, and it's probably not exactly a great game or anything like that. It was one of the ones that AVGN roasted kind of thing, but I played it for a little bit and I checked it out, and he was complaining about one of the games, and I checked out that game, and it's really not that bad. So I don't know, you know, if I'm gonna hold on to this or not. I didn't have it already, but I might end up just flipping that one. And that one unfortunately has a Blockbuster sticker on it. It's not complete, but still, nonetheless, it was pretty cool. The reason why I picked that one up and didn't really give it a second thought though was because this one was sort of distracting me a little bit, and this was definitely worth the pickup. And it's Luigi's Mansion on the GameCube, which I already have, but you know, it's totally complete and everything, and really in amazing shape. So quite pleased with that. You don't really find too many GameCube games. I managed to find a few recently, so I'm pretty happy to be able to do that. And then this last pickup, this came from a pawn shop. I was just checking it out, and they had this on the shelf, and for the price they wanted for it, I thought it was a fairly decent deal. You can let me know what you think about it. I think it's pretty much the going rate, but you know, it's minus like the eBay shipping and all that kind of stuff that would accompany this if you sort of scouted it out online. So this is what I ended up with. Walking away with for 30 bucks was a Super Game Boy complete in box. I figured definitely worth it, so pretty nice right there. And this one here, I guess I can open this up. I don't really like opening boxes up on camera unless I have it like all set down, but here we go. I'll put it back later when I'm done. But the Super Game Boy's in there. It's missing the baggie or whatever. I'm sure that the Super Game Boy came in, but still like a really nice shape box and insert and everything. And then it has like a ton of the different paperwork. So there's the actual manual for it, and it's in like mint shape pretty much. What do we got here? This is like an advertisement for let's see, I haven't even actually opened this one up before all the way, so pretty cool though. It's got the it's got a Link to the Past, Legend of Zelda: Link to the Past Nintendo Power advertisement kind of thing, and it has like a bunch of different games on the back as far as advertisement goes, so it's pretty cool. And then all of this usual kind of stuff, Nintendo Power adverts and or Club Nintendo things or whatever, and warnings and whatnot. So that was all in there. I thought that was a pretty wicked deal for 30 bucks. That's everything I got for you this time around. I want to thank everybody yet again, just getting back to the Extra Life thing, for the donations they did and the support and the retweeting and all that kind of stuff. Really helped out with the event, and I hope the next one is equally as great. I set my goal this time a little bit higher. So the first year I did it, which is this previous year here, I set it for 100 bucks, not knowing exactly how far we got. We got up to 540, so I set this time around to 800 bucks, and I want to see if I can achieve that goal, set my sights a little bit higher, and looking forward to, you know, getting an opportunity to do that. But that's everything I got for you this time around. Thanks again for watching. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do feel free to thumbs up this video, comment down below, and I'll see you all later.